What if I told you that there is a force in the world so powerful that it can turn a few dollars into millions, a small habit into a fortune, and an ordinary person into someone financially free without winning the lottery, without becoming a celebrity, and without earning a massive salary? Most people spend their entire lives searching for a secret that has been hidden in plain sight for centuries. The truth is that wealth is rarely created by one big moment. It is created by thousands of small moments that compound over time. And today, you are about to discover one of the greatest financial principles ever known to humanity: the power of compound interest. Imagine two friends, Alex and Daniel. Both are 20 years old. Alex decides to invest just $100 every month. Daniel says he will start later when he earns more money. Alex is not rich. He does not have a high-paying job, but he has something far more valuable than money: time. Every month he invests his small amount, and every year his investment earns returns. Those returns begin earning returns of their own. Money starts making money, and then that new money starts making even more money. Meanwhile, Daniel spends his 20s enjoying the present, promising himself that he will begin investing someday. At 30, Daniel finally starts investing $200 per month, twice as much as Alex. He feels confident because he is contributing more money. But when both friends reach 60, something shocking happens. Alex, who invested less money each month, ends up with far more wealth than Daniel. Why? Because Alex gave compound interest an extra 10 years to work. Those 10 years were not just 10 years of growth, they were 10 years of growth on growth on growth. This is the part most people fail to understand. Compound interest is not linear, it is exponential. A seed planted today does not become a giant tree tomorrow. For a long time, almost nothing seems to happen. The seed is underground, invisible, and easy to forget. But beneath the surface, roots are forming. Day after day, the process continues silently. Then one day, the tree begins to rise above the ground, and people suddenly notice it. Wealth works the same way. In the beginning, progress feels painfully slow. You save a little. You invest a little. Your account grows by a few dollars. It does not feel exciting. Many people quit during this stage because they expect dramatic results too soon. They want the tree before they are willing to nurture the seed. The millionaire mindset understands that the early years are the hardest psychologically, not financially. Imagine investing for 5 years and seeing only modest growth. Most people would think, this is not working. But what they cannot see is that they are building the foundation for explosive future growth. Compound interest rewards patience in a world addicted to instant gratification. Think about a snowball rolling down a mountain. At the top, it is tiny. It moves slowly and seems insignificant. But as it rolls, it gathers more snow. The larger it becomes, the more snow it collects, and the faster it grows. Eventually, the snowball becomes enormous, not because of one giant addition, but because each layer helped attract the next. Your investments behave in exactly the same way. This is why time is the greatest asset you will ever own. A person who starts investing at 25 has an advantage that a person starting at 45 may never fully recover from, even if the older person earns a much higher income. The younger investor has something priceless: decades for compounding to perform its magic. Most people believe that becoming wealthy requires extraordinary intelligence. In reality, it often requires extraordinary consistency. The person who invests a reasonable amount every month for 30 years will usually outperform the person who constantly tries to predict the next hot stock, the next market crash, or the next get-rich-quick opportunity. One of the biggest financial tragedies in the world is not that people earn too little. It is that they start too late. Every year of delay has a hidden cost. Imagine someone who could have invested from age 25 but waits until 35. They have not just lost 10 years of contributions, they have lost 10 years of compounding. That lost growth can be worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars over a lifetime. Before we go deeper, take a quick moment to support this channel. If you enjoy powerful audiobooks about money, wealth, psychology, success, and financial freedom, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more life-changing content for people who want to build a better future. Now let me tell you a story that changed the way many investors think about time. A teacher once offered a student a choice. The student could receive $1 million today, or 1 cent that would double every day for 30 days. Most people would choose the $1 million immediately. It sounds obvious. But the student who understood compounding chose the penny. On day 1, it was only 1 cent. On day 2, 2 cents. Day 3, 4 cents. Day 4, 8 cents. For the first week, the amounts looked ridiculous. Even after 10 days, the total was only a few dollars. Anyone watching would laugh at the decision. But then something extraordinary happened. The growth accelerated. By day 20, the amount had become thousands of dollars. By day 25, it had become hundreds of thousands. By day 30, the penny that once seemed worthless had grown to more than $5 million. The lesson is not about pennies. The lesson is about exponential growth. Human intuition is terrible at understanding compounding. We expect progress to be straight, but compounding creates curves. This misunderstanding affects every area of life. People underestimate the impact of daily habits because the results are not immediate. Reading 10 pages per day seems insignificant until you realize it becomes more than 3,000 pages per year. Exercising for 30 minutes per day seems small until you realize it becomes hundreds of hours of training. Saving $100 per month seems trivial until you realize it can become a life-changing portfolio over decades. Compound interest is not just a financial principle, it is a life principle. Your thoughts compound, your habits compound, your skills compound, your relationships compound. Every repeated action is either building your future or weakening it. Consider 2 individuals again. One spends 1 hour every evening learning a valuable skill such as communication, sales, investing, or business. The other spends that same hour scrolling through meaningless content. After 1 day, the difference is almost invisible. After 1 month, it is still small. After 1 year, the skilled person has hundreds of hours of focused practice. After 10 years, the gap becomes enormous. This is the power of compounding in human potential. The richest people in the world often understand a simple truth that average people ignore. Small advantages, repeated consistently, create extraordinary outcomes. They do not always look for dramatic shortcuts. They look for systems that can compound over long periods. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in history, earned the vast majority of his wealth after the age of 50. That surprises many people because they assume his fortune came from extraordinary stock picks alone. But the deeper truth is that he started investing as a child and allowed compounding to work for decades. His wealth did not grow like a straight line. It grew like a curve that became steeper with time. This is why patience is a financial superpower. Most investors quit right before compounding becomes exciting. They plant seeds, water them for a short time, and then dig them up to check whether they are growing. Real wealth requires the emotional strength to let time do its work. Another dangerous mistake is lifestyle inflation. As people earn more, they spend more. A salary increase arrives, and immediately a bigger house, a more expensive car, better gadgets, and higher monthly expenses appear. The extra income never reaches investments, so compounding never gets enough fuel to create wealth. The millionaire mindset asks a different question. How much of this increase can I invest so my future becomes easier? Imagine receiving a raise of $500 per month. The average person may absorb all of it into a more expensive lifestyle. The wealthy thinker may invest most of it. 30 years later, those decisions can lead to completely different financial realities. There is also an emotional component to compounding that people rarely discuss. Watching your investments fluctuate can be uncomfortable. Markets rise and fall. Headlines create fear. During downturns, many people panic and sell, interrupting the compounding process. The disciplined investor understands that temporary volatility is the price paid for long-term growth. They focus on decades, not days. Think of a farmer. A farmer does not plant crops in the morning and harvest them in the evening. They understand seasons. They understand that growth requires time, weather, patience, and consistent effort. Investors who succeed often think like farmers rather than gamblers. The most beautiful part of compound interest is that it does not care where you start. It cares how consistently you continue. You do not need to be born wealthy. You do not need a perfect background. You do not need a six-figure income on day one. You need the courage to begin and the discipline to keep going. Right now, somewhere in the world, a teenager investing their first small amount may eventually become financially independent decades from now. Somewhere else, a high-income professional earning enormous money may still struggle financially because they never allowed compounding to work in their favor. Income creates opportunity, but compounding creates wealth. As you listen to these words, ask yourself a powerful question. If I repeated my current financial habits for the next 20 years, where would they lead me? That question is uncomfortable because it forces honesty. But honesty is the beginning of transformation. The secret of compound interest is not hidden in complex mathematics. It is hidden in simple repeated actions performed consistently for a very long time. And in the next part, we will explore the most shocking examples of compounding, the mistakes that silently destroy wealth, and the exact mindset that allows ordinary people to build extraordinary financial freedom through the unstoppable force of time.